Welcome to Lesson 28 of EFT Tapping with A Course in Miracles. You can watch Lesson 1 for the description and overview of how this works with the tapping. So Lesson 28, above all else, I want to see things differently. This one has a 2-minute practice period. It asks for 6 today, so we will use one within the tapping round itself. So let's tune into this one, shall we? Repeating after me on the side of the hand. Even though I am perceiving things in a way that is different than they actually are, at least according to this text, I choose to open to the idea that above all else, I want to see things differently. Even though I am apparently not perceiving things as they actually are, I am open to the idea that above all else, I want to see things differently. Even though this lesson suggests, as many have before, that I'm not seeing anything in front of me as it actually is. And I'm being asked to say that I want to see differently above all else. And that sounds like a pretty huge commitment. I'm not sure I totally believe that when I say it. I'm not sure I know exactly what it means. Especially when it says that if I could see a single object as it is, it would completely transform me. I'm told that that's okay, that we're just getting started, and to be open to doing this exercise as sincerely as possible. And I choose to honor and accept myself and open to the idea that above all else, I want to see things differently. Okay, now through the points. Above all else, I want to see things differently. Maybe that doesn't feel completely true. But some of the ideas presented here, like it says, if I could perceive a single table exactly as it truly is, that would completely transform my perception. That it would show me something beautiful and clean and of infinite value. Well, that sounds pretty cool. If I can withdraw my ideas, my past ideas, what I think is my understanding of what I see, which is all based on the past, then I can supposedly liberate myself. So I choose to try this with some sincerity. And maybe even it makes sense logically. if I can release my ideas about what I am seeing, I can begin to see what it truly is. And apparently something really amazing awaits me. So now I choose to do this exercise, taking 2 minutes to look around the room without discriminating what I choose to look at. And whatever my eyes lay upon, I say, above all else, I want to see this blank differently. I'm told to say this slowly and thoughtfully as possible. Okay, so let's try it together. You can keep tapping anywhere you like. Just letting your eyes rest upon any object, any human, anything, right? Without discrimination as best as possible. And here we go. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. Above all else, I want to see this blank differently. And above all else, I want to see this blank differently. And I choose to acknowledge myself for taking that time. And if I feel anything opening, allowing myself to lean into that. If I feel any doubt or resistance, allowing myself to welcome and process that. Trusting as I move forward. And committing to doing this 5 more times today. 5 more 2-minute periods. Saying above all else, I want to see this differently. Okay, take a breath. Yeah, how did that feel for you? It was interesting. One of the weirdest little things was just a little square on the window I'm recording this on, the computer window. There's like a, button to minimize. And just looking at that and thinking, I want to see this little icon differently. It had a pretty wild sort of shift in perception or something there. It was the most unexpected thing, which I guess is part of why the instructions are to not really discriminate, because you can see how your sort of discerning mind would say, well, who cares about this icon? I mean, how significant could that be? Surely I'd have to do this practice on the heaviest thing. Meanwhile, I had this weird moment just, staring at this little square on my computer. So curious your thoughts, experiences, and I look forward to seeing you on lesson 29. Thanks.